Using 3D layers in After Effects is one of the most useful and quick ways to add some depth to your 2D artwork. This is something I used for the Thanksgiving short I made a while ago, and lots of other videos. I'm now going to show you how you can achieve a similar effect. Let's hop into today's video. So I already imported my background and two of my original characters. These layers are all two-dimensional and they are literally laying flat on top of one another. So I'm going to switch this to two views, horizontal. And right now, they look exactly the same. I'm going to go to Layer, New, and I'm going to add a new camera. I'm going to keep the default settings here and just hit OK. And now, I can see the top of this. Currently, the camera cannot do much because these layers are still two-dimensional. So I'm going to shift select these and I'm going to go to Layer, 3D Layer. Now each of these layers is able to move in 3D space, hence why now there is a Z axis here. So if let's say I pick Honker, right? I can go over here and drag him out. And he is currently moving closer to the camera, which is located here. So the closer I move him to the camera, the bigger he gets. Let's move Gus up a little bit. And you know, if I moved him too close, I can always move him back and he'll get smaller. If I move him behind the background layer, I won't be able to see him because now the background is covering him from the camera's point of view. Okay, so now we can move our camera around. So I'm going to go to position here and I'm going to make a keyframe. I'm going to go around the 2-second mark in our timeline and I'm going to play with the Z axis, which is now our depth. It's a lot of experimentation with 3D layers, especially if it's your first time playing with them. There's a lot of different things that you can do with the camera. And it really is interesting working in a space that is three-dimensional. You see that on this side, it's making a track. And you can play with the curves so that it makes smoother transitions. And you can also, of course, as always, select the keyframe and go to easy ease in and easy ease out. And I'm just going to continue making the camera move in space. The camera goes past the drawing, so now it's flipped. But you see how they're not totally stacked on top of each other. There is this empty space here between the layers. And now we're totally on the back side. You know what? I think I can make this a little faster. So I'm going to move these keyframes a lot closer to each other. Okay, so here I just have a totally blank scene with just this camera. So I'm going to import some photos so that we can build a 3D scene. I'm going to import this window and we're going to scale it up. I hit S to scale, to access the scaling, by the way. Press down Shift and hit P. I can also get the position, so I'm going to move it over a little bit. Move it in a little bit more. I think that's good. And I want there to be like a wall here. I'm going to make some shapes here. And I'm going to make sure that this shape layer is underneath my window layer. Cool. And I'm also going to import a waterfall. So our waterfall is currently above everything. So we're going to move this back. Let's see if we can get some rocks in here too. Okay, so our rocks are all the way over there, really small. I'm going to hit S with the layer selected and maybe scale them up a little. And I'm going to hit Shift and P to access the position and also move the positioning of those rocks. Maybe I'll also add a layer of clouds. Okay, so I'm going to make this scene look like we're looking through a window and the camera is gonna go through it. So I'm going to shift select all of these. Go to layer, 3D layer, and now these are all 3D layers. Using this view over here, I'm going to move our waterfall. The waterfall looks farther away. I'm going to take these clouds and push them a little farther back. And I can go over here and also manipulate them on this right side here. So I think a little higher. And I'm going to take my rocks and maybe move them back a little bit. I think I might stretch them out. So now that I have all of those set in place, I can just focus on moving my camera's position. We have our first keyframe here, and in this next keyframe, I will move the camera on the Z-axis so it looks like we're getting closer through the window. And you can also see the camera moving on this left side here. Another frame. Push it in a little bit more, move in a little more, and maybe play with the rotation. What we can do is go back a keyframe or two, let's say, and make a keyframe on the position of the clouds, and then we'll go back to our next keyframe and move those clouds a little lower and keep making more keyframes. I guess here is fine. So let's go and play that back. It's not the smoothest, but you get the point. Basically, you can move in space and really create an immersive environment just using regular photos and 2D images. So this is a great way for you to take your drawings, let's say a character, and add them into a space, and to just really make something a lot more visually interesting. I hope this video helped you learn how to better use your 3D layers for whatever projects you may be currently working on. And if you have any questions about it, totally leave them in the comments. And if you'd like to see me do more After Effects related videos, also note that in the comments below. Thank you so much. Have a totally awesome day, and I'll see you next time.